Today's short video is about filleting fish. I decided to keep it pretty simple and just share what I think are a few important parts of the process. I hope some of you find this video useful. So probably one of the most important things is to have a really sharp knife. If you have a blunt knife, that's when you're likely to make mistakes and potentially cut yourself. So get yourself a reasonable quality knife and a really sharp one. Alright, let's take this fish apart. So my first cut is from behind this fin here, and I want to cut sort of on an angle up behind the back of the head there. So let's get that one. And I don't want to cut through the gut. Now I see a lot of people do that cut straight across and go straight through the guts. The reason I'm being careful not to pierce the gut cavity is so that I don't spread bacteria onto the fillets. This will allow the fillets to stay fresh in the refrigerator for days longer. The second cut goes from just behind the head all the way down to the tail, following the dorsal fin. You want to get your thumb inside there and pull that meat back so that you can see what you're doing with your knife. Just try to stick close to the bone and follow your way into the spine until you hit the spine in the middle there. You want to go up and over that spine and down the other side. It's important to note here that when the knife comes through to the other side, it comes through just in front of that anal fin. I really tried hard not to have to use the word anal fin, but unfortunately anal fin is the correct terminology. Next, I cut through the pin bones, with the tip of the knife pointed slightly upwards and being careful not to break any of the ribs and go into the gut cavity. Following the rib cage, I carefully peel the fillet back, but I don't completely remove it. Now, this is just my own preference, but I find that it keeps the fish a nicer shape, making the second side easier to fillet. I repeat the process exactly the same on the other side until I get to the same point, and then it's time to remove the fillets. The heads and frames from today's fish will be baked in the oven with cream and onions, and the only thing not being eaten is the skin and the guts, which will be fed to a big friendly eel that lives in the river near my house. Now, once I get a hold of the skin, you'll notice that I moved the skin and the knife in opposite directions. I can't really explain the physics of this, but that's what my dad did and my papa too, and it certainly seems to help. I leave the fillet laying on top of the skin to avoid getting any scales on the meat. Finally, I use my fingers to locate the pin bones and I carefully cut them out, being sure not to waste any meat. Right, that's my finished fillet. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys find something useful in this video. Anal fin.